Hello and welcome to Magic and Mystic, where we talk about anything that's magical, spooky, and of course, mystical. I will be your host today, Alana, because we are doing tiny little clips. And I have been tasked with researching Litha. Yes, and I still will tell you what crystals I think align with today's topic. And also, I will be pulling a tarot card. So, Litha, also known as Midsummer, is a pagan celebration of the summer solstice. It marks the longest day of the year and the peak of summer's power. It is a time of abundance, fire, and celebration to the earth as it's in full bloom, before the journey starts going back to the dark half of the year again. I will tell you a little bit about Litha. The name Litha is pronounced Litha. It's believed to have come from a Saxon word for mild or gentle, describing the breezes of June and July. Fun fact, I am a July baby. While ancient cultures like Saxons certainly celebrated the solstice, many of the modern day traditions we associate with Litha comes from a blend of Norse, German, and later Christianized. Which, to be fair, saying that the winter solstice, obviously, it did get Christianized. Can't say I'm surprised because I know that I'll be doing another one a little later on about Yule, about Christmas, because I know that was a Saxon and pagan tradition, which I love Christmas. So for Litha, there are a few really cute little traditions that you can do, which I definitely will be doing. So you can do bonfires. Traditionally, huge fires were lit on hills to strengthen the sun. People would jump over and they would do this to embrace luck or drive livestock through the smoke to protect them. And then you can also do herb gathering, which I think is really cute. In my garden, I have a lot of thyme and lavender, so it's a good time to start harvesting them. Which I don't know whether you've ever dried out lavender in your house, but it smells incredible. So the famous legend associated with Litha is the internal battle between the Oak King and the Holly King. They were twin brothers, or two aspects of the same green man, who represents the light and the dark half of the year. The Oak King rules the waxing year from winter to summer. He is the law of growth, fertility, and the strengthening of the sun. While you have the Holly King, who rules the warning year from summer to winter. He is the lord of rest, darkness, and evergreen, which I kind of like. So, two twin brothers, one's light, one's dark. Feel like we've all read books like that. The Battle of Litha. At the spring equinox, the Oak King is at his most youthful, but by Litha, he reaches the absolute peak of his power. However, at the very moment of his greatest strength, his brother, the Holly King, appears to challenge him. In the mystical battle that takes place on the solstice, the Holly King defeats the Oak King. Though the sun is currently at its brightest, this victory marks the turning point. From days forward, the nights will slowly grow darker, and the sun's strength will begin to fade. The Oak King dies or goes into retirement until the winter solstice, Yule, where he will rise again and reclaim his throne. Which I quite like that tale. Even though it does sound a little sad, it's just a never ending battle. But at least they both get turns. The Fairies of Midsummer. We had to learn about Midsummer's Night's Dream when we was in little school. And honestly, I loved Summer's Night's Dream. I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was great. Another popular piece of folklore is that the veil between the world and the spirit world is at its thinnest during the solstice. Stories suggest that if you happen to walk through a fairy ring, a mushroom ring, or sit under a elderberry tree on Litha, you might be transported into a realm of the Fae. I think I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. This is the inspiration behind Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night's Dream, where the forest is alive with mischievous spirits like Puck and the Warning Queen and King of the Fairies. So, would you like to know about some simple rituals or ways people celebrate Litha at home today? And I know that I've mentioned the massive fire, but let's be honest, let's not jump over fires and let's not start them on top of fields. So instead of doing that, I will give you a few little ones, a few little rituals that we can all do at home just to celebrate this amazing time. What you could do is welcome the sunrise. Since Litha is about the sun's power, the most traditional way to start is by waking up early to watch the sunrise, standing outside, face the east, and simply thank the sun for its warmth and light. It's a powerful moment to set intentions for the second half of the year. Number 2, you could create a summer altar. So, what you can do is set up a small space on a table or a windowsill. Colours like yellow, gold, orange, green, bright blue. Place colours there. You can do ribbons or honestly just anything you want. And that is something on the items. You could have sunflowers, fresh herbs, candles, fruits, or just anything to symbolise the sun. And depending on what you think, what speaks to you about the sun, everyone's going to have a different idea of what the sun represents. So nobody's is going to be the same. And I think that's beautiful in itself. I think I already mentioned about gathering herbs. But what I think would be nice is if you went to a herb garden, probably maybe picked up a few plants, and it is the best time to start harvesting. And what you could look for is lavender, mint, chamomile, and fennel. You can make tea with these. They are actually really good for making teas with. So at the end of the night, you could snuggle up on the sofa or next to a fire, pour yourself a hot cup of herbal tea. Or if you want to be super extra, you could gather your own herbs. And don't forget to light a candle. At least this way you could do it at home. You don't have to leave the house. You could find after your morning walk in the morning to watch the sunrise, set your intentions, and then you can also grab a candle, set your intentions again, and light it at the end of the night. A light golden or orange candle throughout the day to honor the light. You could do this throughout the day. It doesn't have to be at the beginning or the end. And one of my favorite ones is feast and share. Get people you love to come over, friends, family, and eat. It's a celebration after all. Eat as the Saxons would. So get fresh berries, salads, honey, bread, and just share food with the people that you love, because I feel like that'll create more memories for you. And you can also make sun water. I know, right? I didn't know this was a thing either. So, what you do is you fill a clear glass with water, of course, and leave it in direct sunlight for a couple of hours. The water will absorb the sun's energy and then you can drink it. Or you can use it for your plants or bath water. So, if you run a bath, you can place the sun water in there, just empty it all in there and feel revived from it. So, I just want to give you a little fae tip, I suppose. Since the veil will be at its thinnest, if you want to be friendly and help the spirits, you can always leave a small offering outside, like a little bowl of milk, honey, or cream, just to say thank you for the beauty of nature. And with that, I will tell you what crystal I think aligns with today's episode. And I honestly think it would be clear quartz. It is a powerhouse crystal, and I think we may have covered this. Well, I think Agata may have covered this in one of her episodes. But like the sun, it's clear, you can see straight through it, and it is one of the most powerfulest crystals to help with your intentions. And that's what I feel like the sun represents to me, clarity. And I shall pull a card now and we shall see what it says. Okay, so I have actually pulled out the Lovers, which I actually like. It wasn't in reverse, it was how it should be. And I'm so excited. So I feel like you may have something in your way. I feel, with this card, I feel like you know who you're meant to be with, even if it's hard, even if it can't happen right now. I feel like you've already met the one. Something may be in your way, but I want you to remember not to push it. You two are contracted to be with each other, so do not fret. It will happen. It might not happen as quickly as what you think it's going to. It might take a while, but I think everything is about timing. And you can't rush that. And if you rush that, you're not going to break the soul contract, because you can't. But it might just make things a bit more tricky. So don't push it. Go with the flow with it. So I look forward. And if you do end up with somebody soon, I really want to hear about it. I love hearing about dates. And with that, I actually read something that I thought was quite cute. So I just want to read it out loud. You can say this quietly. So with this, before you go to bed, before you light out the candle, you can say this out loud, or you can say it when the sun's coming up. Great sun, at the height of your power, I give my thanks for the light and the warmth. May I grow strong, may I flourish, and may this brightness through the day carry me on. I just thought that was a nice little quotey, poemy thing at the end. So thank you so much for listening. Next week, Igata will be beside me again. this is the first one I've done on my own. It was actually quite nerve-wracking. I don't know why. But yeah, thank you. And I hope you come and listen again soon. Bye.